Hey everyone, welcome to another recap video for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. In this video, I'm going to be recapping episode 3. So let's go ahead and get into the hot messes. We're going to start again with Avery and Omar. So we're picking up where we left off from last week, where Avery and her mom are in the airport. As you might remember, Avery could not find her cell phone, and mom was like, I'm not getting on this plane if you don't have your phone, because you're not about to go over there and get caught up in some mess and you can't call home or we can't reach you. Anyway, it looked like Avery wasn't really concerned about finding her cell phone, even though she looked like she kind of looked for it a little bit in her pockets, but then she just kept going. She's like, I'm getting on this plane, Mom. I'm going to see my man. So anyway, they got on the phone. They got on the plane. And still she hasn't told her mom about her plans to move to Syria. So then it jumps to 24 hours earlier, showing Omar in Lebanon. Omar seems like he's really sweet, really can't wait for Avery, and he's about one of the few that actually seems like he's not trying to use her. So far, at least. So he's checking into the hotel that they'll be staying in Lebanon. It looks like Omar pays for his hotel room and their hotel room. Very nice. And he talks about how Syria is too dangerous for Avery to come to, which made me wonder, well, then why would he agree to her moving to Syria after they get married? Like, I don't understand that. If it's not safe for her to come to see you for the first time and to marry you, why is it safe for her to come to live? I don't know. I'm really hoping they change their mind in the future about this. And people are trying to leave Syria. So that part I really don't get. And then when he was talking about how he lost some friends in like the stuff that was going on in Syria, some people passed, I started wondering if maybe Avery became a pleasant distraction from maybe the pain and suffering that he was feeling based on everything that was going in Syria. Maybe meeting her online was a breath of fresh air and he kind of got caught up. But I really hope that they use some common sense and don't really try to live in Syria if it's not safe. And they showed pictures, you know, video of what Syria looks like now, and I mean, it ain't paradise, and it really doesn't look like anywhere I would want to go and stay. So I don't really understand why Avery wants to go so bad. But anywho, that remains to be seen. All right. He also talked about how he doesn't like to hear about her past, like her past relationships and experiences, because again, he doesn't have the experiences that she has. He's never had a girlfriend, never kissed a girl, never held a girl's hand. So, and she's done all that and more. So he don't want to hear about it, right? But he hopes he does like her in person. So now back to Avery and her mom. They had a layover and I forget where, but they're in the airport and she's freshening up her makeup. And they, once they get to Lebanon, he's going to go to the airport and pick them up. He was talking about wanting to make sure he looks nice. So that was really good. He wants to look nice for her. It's the first time meeting her. He wants to make a good impression, not only on her, but on her mom, which that's a good thing, Omar. So he's waiting with a bouquet of roses at the airport in Lebanon. At this point, though, her mom is just over the whole trip. They get to the airport, can't find their luggage. It turns out their luggage is coming on a later flight. I think that's coming in the next day. So mom is over it, but Avery's just excited, of course, because she just can't wait to see Omar. When they see each other, they hug, they embrace. She thinks he's so cute, and she just keeps on hugging him. And I peeped her urge to want to kiss him. She wanted to kiss him, even if it was just on the cheek. She wanted to do more than just hug him. But of course, she did not. She shows him restraint, which was good. They hug. He thinks she's actually cuter in person than in her pictures that she has sent him. Let's see. Mom thought that their first meeting was sweet. She did say that, but honey, they get in a cab to go to the hotel, and she just starts complaining about the cab driver's driving. And she's like, I don't want to, offend anybody, but is he supposed to be driving all in between the two lanes? He's all on the lines and da da da. And they're just kind of like, be quiet, just chill out. Anyway, Avery's kind of worried that her mom is going to say something to disrespect somebody or disrespect the culture there. So I'm actually worried about that too, Avery, because your mama doesn't really seem that respectful of other people who are different from her. I don't know. So far, it ain't looking too good. So I'm hoping she proves me wrong. So they get to the hotel. Omar shows them their room. And I believe he showed them his room. And in her confessional, Avery admitted that she did have the urge to kiss him, which I could tell. And then her and her mom are in their room and they're having a conversation. And the mom is asking her if she plans on coming back home after the wedding. And she's like, yeah, I'm coming home. She wasn't lying about that. But she didn't say that she's planning on going back to Syria to live with him. So that's still kind of eating her up. So that's all that we saw of Avery and Omar and her mom in this episode. So it was really nice so far. Now for Darcy and Tom. Oh my gosh, guys, this was, I thought, the most interesting couple of this episode, because Darcy and Tom, just individually, they are two very interesting people with their own sets of issues. Okay, so let's get into it. Darcy is traveling to London, and as she's on the plane and as she's in the airport, she's recording little messages for Tom. And she's got like a ton of luggage. She had like 4 or 5 suitcases. I think it was like 4 big suitcases. So she gets to the airport. The driver is there to pick her up. He's holding up a sign. This is Darcy. And although she would have preferred that Tom came to pick her up, she's not complaining too much about the driver picking her up. So now when he said he was sending a driver to pick her up, I was thinking like a limousine, Uber Black, something. Honey, we'll get to that later. Because before they leave, Darcy has to go to the bathroom to freshen up. And when I say freshen up, Darcy, if she would have found like a whole bathroom to shower in, she would have. But she took 45 minutes as the driver waited outside the bathroom. Darcy was in there for 45 minutes getting ready. I'm talking brushing her teeth. She was under the hand dryer, putting her armpits in there and everything, making sure everything was dry. She damn near bathed in her perfume. She sprayed it every which way. I mean, it was a lot. Then she changed into this outfit that I personally think was a bit much for a first time meeting with Tom. I mean, it was cute. It was sexy. Don't get me wrong. She looked nice in it. I just didn't think it was appropriate for the very first meeting. I didn't think that she needed to show that much skin or be that sexy. I mean, come on, ladies. We know that you don't have to show a whole lot of skin to be sexy or to look sexy, right? But Darcy had on these like thigh-high boots and some kind of, I don't know if it was some kind of corset jumper, but it was really short. And then like this black blazer, fitted blazer on top. And it just inappropriate to me for the first time. It's just a little bit too much for the first meet. But anyway, we know Darcy is very concerned about how she looks and how she presents herself to her man. She's very self-conscious. Her self-esteem isn't that high, and she just wants him to want her, okay? And think that she's pretty. Well, then she's walking with the driver outside to the car, and it's like she could barely walk in the little boots. She's like tip, 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 walking in these boots because they so damn high. The heels are high. But they get to this cab, honey, this London cab, and it's a cab. It's just a cab. And I'm pretty sure she was thinking the same thing I was thinking, that she thought it was going to be a nicer car. But it wasn't. It was just a cab. But, you know, it doesn't matter because Darcy is in La La Land. She's about to go meet her boo. She's so nervous. She's excited. She's got butterflies and all this kind of stuff. So she's in the cab. She's just looking and wondering and still freshening up her makeup and just excited. So then they jump to 24 hours earlier to Tom. Tom, let's see, he says he lives a bachelor lifestyle, but now he's ready to settle down. Tom also revealed that by living this bachelor lifestyle, he's been with a lot of women, and they haven't been serious relationships. So they show him at the barbershop getting his hair cut, and he's talking to the barber about Darcy. And the barber asks him about the pictures that he has sent to Darcy, because he was showing the barber Darcy's pictures. And the barber asked about what pictures he's been sending to her, and he said that the last pic he sent her was from 1990. Now, Tom looks different in present day than he does in the pictures that we've seen of him that Darcy has shown. He looks much younger in those pictures, which makes sense because he said that they're from the 90s. However, Darcy FaceTimes with him or Skypes with him, whatever it is, video chats with him. So I don't know if he's always trying to show his good side when he's talking to her in video chat or what, but there's a clear difference, age difference in the pictures and the real life. So what I did not understand, what I did not like, especially coming from a man, is that Tom started talking about Jessie to the barber, about, you know, this is her ex and da-da-da, goes to Jessie's Instagram and is showing the barber. I'm like, what man does that? Like, don't even give the ex your attention. I don't understand that. Anyways, they talked about that a little bit. But he said he wants to settle down, and he thinks he wants to take it a little further with Darcy than he has done in his past relationships. So then after that, it shows him meeting with his sister, and I didn't catch who the man was that was with his sister. I don't know if that was her husband, boyfriend, or just another friend. I'm not really sure. But he tells his sister that Darcy's coming, and she asks about them being boyfriend-girlfriend, and he said that he has not given their relationship the boyfriend-girlfriend title. And I don't think the sister was really surprised. However, I mean, we all know Darcy's all in this relationship. She has given this relationship that title, and she's trying to give this relationship husband-wife title. So already we're starting to see that Tom and Darcy are in two different places in this relationship. But his sister mentions that he has been hurt before, so that kind of makes sense as to why Tom is being a bit cautious. But the sister does have a confused look on her face throughout the whole conversation, because Tom really seems like he's into Darcy, and his sister's not really used to that, because he's used to just having these little short relationships with a bunch of different women. So I think she's kind of taken aback that he's actually showing signs of being ready to settle down with one person. So Tom has the cab driver take Darcy to this restaurant where he wanted to meet her at. That's where they're going to meet for the first time. So he's waiting, he's at the table, he's all nervous and excited. They get together, they hug and they kiss, and he tells her she smells beautiful. I mean, I'm pretty sure he couldn't miss her fragrance because she sprayed it all over. But he also said that, no, she said that she noticed that he looks different from his pictures. But duh, she should have noticed that already because she's video chatted with him. Doesn't he look different in his video chat than his? It's not like he's like Rebecca using filters in his video chat. So I don't know. But like I said, maybe the lighting is different when he video chats with her. So he looks a little different. I don't know. But she does notice that he looks different. And it makes me wonder if she's even really as attracted to him as she thought she would be, or as she thought she was before. I don't know. But you know, it's Darcy. She's a hopeless romantic, which I think is an understatement. But she's going to keep on going with it. So anyway, he kind of picks up on that vibe and feels like he's not really sure if she's attracted to him. So he asked her, and she said he's better than he expected. Was she telling the truth? I don't know. I don't think Darcy's going to be brutally honest with him, because she's so hopeful that this relationship is going to turn into a fairy tale marriage. So I don't know. But let's see. I have lots of notes on those two. So but what she said is that he has the it factor. What is that it factor? Whatever is the delusion in her head. I don't know. So she asks about what room that they will be staying in, and he breaks it to her and says, your room is really nice that you're going to be staying in. And she was like, huh? What you mean, my room? And he explains to her that he got her an Airbnb for herself so that she can have her own space, her privacy and everything. He's not taking her to his house to be with him in his room and his bed and everything like that. And she was clearly, visibly taken aback by that. You could tell she did not like that. I mean, Darcy ain't coming to play. You could tell by her outfit. However, what she should have done was respected the fact that he did that. It's only her first time meeting him in person. How can she expect to be all up in his house, up in his bed and everything the first time? It doesn't matter that you've been talking online for 4 years. It's been online. Now this is in person. Be glad that he's showing you the respect by giving you your own place. Hello? But in Darcy's head, she takes that as, oh, he doesn't like me. He's not as attracted to me. Maybe he's not into me. So anyway, she's shocked and confused because they've been talking for 4 years. And now he's like, oh, I got you a room. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, because it doesn't look like Tom is very impressed with the way she responds to things. Even on previews for the next episode, he's kind of like, oh, this chick is a bit emotional. So in this episode, we have Angela and Michael again. And to be honest, I'm getting tired of Angela, because she's a bit wackadoo. She's a little crazy. She's controlling. I mean, she's trying to control the man from a whole other continent. So anyway, let's get to the details, shall we? She goes to see a lawyer to check on the status of the K-1 visa that she applied for Michael. It's been like a year or something like that. And he tells her it's being processed and it's probably going to take 5 to 7 months. So he recommends that she uses this time to really consider whether or not she really wants to do this and have him come to the States. And he also tells her about the additional fees that come with sponsoring somebody on a K-1 visa to come to the United States that apparently Angela was not aware of. How she wasn't aware of these things, I don't know, because this is not her first time on the show. So she has also been around other people who are on the show. I'm pretty sure she's watched the show. And people always mention these things. You're financially responsible for this person for 10 years, whether you stay together or not. So anyway, the lawyer enlightens her, and she's shocked. And she's like, I'm not trying to be financially responsible for him. She's already kind of on the outs with him at this point. So she tells the lawyer that she doesn't trust Michael 100%. And the lawyer, in his own little confessional, admits that he's not too, he's kind of concerned about this, but he says he also handles divorces as well. So if Angela needs him on the other side, he can be there for her. So it goes to another scene where Angela's seen leaving work. She's walking to the parking lot and she sees a co-worker in the parking lot, this guy. And she starts venting to him when he asks her, you know, how she's doing, how things are going. And she tells him that it's Michael's birthday, and apparently she and Michael made plans to go celebrate his birthday when she comes to Nigeria. So Michael told her that he would not be going out to celebrate his birthday. Well, child, Angela's been calling Michael and he didn't answer his phone, and I don't know, went on for 6-7 hours or whatever. And so she's mad. She thinks he's gone out to celebrate his birthday. Like, woman, it's his birthday and he's in another continent. So why are you trying to control what he does for his birthday when he has his friends and his family and his people right there? You think he's gonna sit and wait for you to come to Nigeria and like, okay, I can celebrate my birthday now? Girl, no. Long story short, he went out for his birthday after he told her that he wouldn't. So on Michael's part, that was wrong. He shouldn't have lied. Just tell her, look, I'm gonna go out with my friends, my family, whoever, and when you come, we're gonna go out and celebrate my birthday too. What's so hard about that? So anyway, she's accusing him of lying and all that kind of stuff. Later on, he did call her back, or she called him and he finally answered, whichever one. And he admits that he lied about not going out to celebrate his birthday. He also says that it was his nephew's birthday as well, so they wanted to celebrate. The co-worker that she's venting to understands Michael's, you know, side in all this. I mean, he's a young man. He wants to go celebrate his birthday. But he's not about to tell Angela that he understands Michael's side because he don't want to hear it from her. Child, whatever. These two, I just don't think they're going to last. I don't think they're a match. And frankly, it's kind of getting on my nerves because it's obvious that Michael is just using Angela. And I honestly don't see what, apart from the obvious with Michael trying to come to the United States, I don't see what they each see in each other. I really don't. They're just complete opposites. On to Rebecca and Zied. So Rebecca is in Tunisia now. He has picked her up from the airport, and unlike Omar when he went to get Avery and her mom, although Zied was wearing that t-shirt with Rebecca's picture on it, he didn't, to me, maybe it's just me, he didn't seem to really care that much about his appearance. I'm sorry, his hair was greasy looking. He just didn't look like he really put himself together. Like he really tried. He didn't put in that effort. Anyway, because I just made a note that his hair looks greasy. Anyway, he is only 26 years old. So in order to get around, they have to rent a car. However, he doesn't have enough driving experience to drive the rental car. You have to have at least 5 years experience, which he does not have. So Rebecca has to now rent this car for the 3 weeks that she's going to be there, an expense that she was not expecting. So, red flag number one, Rebecca. He's too young. He's not even old enough to drive a rental car. Anyway, when they get into the room, she shows him the gifts that she brought for him, like a red, white, and blue scarf that looks like she crocheted for him. Shows him the lingerie that she bought. And in his confessional, he kind of expresses that he's nervous about being with her that night because she's older than him. And he mentions that she is a grandmother. I'm like, you ain't think about this before? Anyway, so clearly they spent the night together. They did whatever they did, and they woke up together. She said last night was amazing. It was amazing. He asked her if she loves him even more after that night. Little red flags. Sounds like insecurity. And of course she said yes. I mean, she's not gonna say no. So Rebecca realizes that she really needs to get to know him. She needs to take these 3 weeks to get to know him before they really take this relationship to the next level. So she tells him that she wants to know more about him, and she also wants to make sure that she's not making the same mistake she did with her previous husband, who really broke her heart. she doesn't want a repeat of that. Zied mentions that he was in a relationship before her and his ex-girlfriend was unfaithful, and that he hated her for it. And so Rebecca lets him know, and they kind of have that in common, right? Their exes were unfaithful. But he also mentions that he is the jealous type. And so she's kind of worried about that part of it, that he's really the jealous type. But they kind of hash it out a little bit and say, look, I'm not your ex. This is a whole new relationship. So let's see where this goes. So in this episode, we were also introduced to Benjamin. Benjamin is a 33-year-old man in Arizona. He works at an energy company. He describes himself as being upbeat and loyal, maybe sometimes to a fault. He's also studying to be a minister. He has a 5-year-old son from his previous marriage. His son's name is Grayson. He was married for 7 years, and as a result of their divorce, he has taken a financial hit. You know, divorce does that sometimes, and maybe he has to pay child support, and maybe it's a lot. So he's really frugal. He has to like really pinch pennies due to the financial impact of the divorce. He has not had any luck dating in Arizona and Phoenix where he is, so he decided to try looking for love abroad on some dating app, which is how he met a 26-year-old woman named Akinyi in Nairobi. So she's an African woman. Now, mind you, it seems like Benjamin is into chocolate because his ex-wife is also black. So this is his type, I'm assuming. Anyway, Akinyi is Christian. He made sure that she wasn't catfishing him by asking her to send him a picture doing the Spock sign or something like that, which she did, so that proved that it was really her sending the pictures that he was receiving or seeing, whatever. So anyway, he's going to Kenya to see Akinyi in person to make sure that they could really click, because they've been clicking so far online, but he wants to make sure it's really real in person. So he's going to go to Kenya to do that. He does a video call with her. She has never dated a white man before, she says, so she's excited. But in her culture, you only bring home the man that you're going to marry to meet your parents and your family. So this is her first time bringing home a man, and then it's a white man on top of that. So she has to kind of brief him on the culture and the customs and things like that. Like, for example, when he comes to her house, he has to make sure he takes off his shoes, and she explains to him that there is a bride price for marriage. If he wants to marry her, there's a bride price that comes along with that. So he automatically kind of gets a little worried because his budget's kind of tight. What I do love, he's loyal to his son. He takes care of his child, and he doesn't want to do anything that's going to get in the way of his relationship or taking care of his child. So he is a little worried about what this bride price is going to be and how much it's going to put a dent in his pocket, right? So, let's see. He has a friend named Desiree. She comes over and, you know, he talks to her about this whole thing that he's going to Kenya and all this. She thinks he's being a bit naive, but because he doesn't really know Akinyi that well, she's more considering the fact that Akinyi is this young woman. She's 26, and she would, if they marry, she would automatically be a stepmother to his 5-year-old child, and she's concerned about the impact of that on the child. So she kind of brings that up to him, and it looks like she gave him a few things to really think about and consider that maybe he hadn't really thought about before, from the perspective of his son. Like, how is his son going to feel about it? Like, we know how you feel about her, but what kind of effect do you think it's going to have on Grayson? So that's something that he needs to think about. And now on to Caesar. Caesar and Maria. The saga continues. Look, we know Caesar and Maria are not meeting. I don't think it's in the cards. I don't even know if it's real, but here we are talking about them because Caesar's still on the show, okay? At this point, I no longer feel sorry for Caesar. Now I want Caesar to have a psyche eval, because homeboy is clueless or he's a really good actor at being dumb. So Caesar's friend comes over and she describes him as a hopeless romance. So this friend comes over and by the way, Maria still hasn't booked her ticket to Mexico. And the friend is concerned that Maria is not going to show up to Mexico. Caesar's supposed to be leaving in like 2 days or something like that to go to Mexico. So he shows this friend the ring that he bought her. Remember, he paid $200 for this ring. It's not even real diamonds in there. It was 200 bucks because when he went to the jewelry store, the lady was showing him all these different rings that were in the thousands and thousands of dollars. And Caesar was like, what you got that's around like 150? So he got a $200 ring for her, okay? So he shows her the ring and has the nerve to say, like, look at them diamonds. But it ain't diamonds. Anyway, the friend was really shocked about the ring part. I don't think she was expecting that because she knows that Maria is playing him. So he's supposed to be leaving for Mexico the next day. She has not booked her ticket, so he texts her and she said she doesn't have any money. If she books her ticket, remember he sent her $2,000 to book the ticket. She says if she books her ticket, she won't have any money because she has to do her hair, get her hair done, her teeth done, go to cosmetology. So basically she wants him to send her more money so she can pay for the ticket and get all this stuff done. First of all, how much does it cost to get your hair done? And what do you have to get done to your teeth? You don't brush them every day? Like, what does she have to get done to her teeth? And cosmetology, like, what? And then she's trying to say, well, you need to send me more money if you really want to see me, you need to send me this money. So, of course, this gets him in a tizzy. And he's at work explaining the situation to a client while he's doing her pedicure. Then Maria texts and says that she didn't book the ticket because the next day, the day they're supposed to meet in Mexico, is her mother's birthday. She didn't know it was her mama's birthday before. We all know it's a lie. We all know it's a lie. But at least Caesar was like, why didn't she just tell me that before? We could have booked it for another day. So Maria asked for them to go on a different date that's like 2 weeks ahead. So the girl who's getting her toes done was like, look, why don't you just go ahead and book her ticket for the dates that she requested? Then she doesn't have a choice. She can't scam you. She can't make excuses. Just tell her, you know what? Boom. Booked your ticket for those dates. I'll see you in Mexico. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So he texts her and says that that's what he's going to do. Me personally, you already borrowed money you didn't have, boo, to book the ticket that you booked for her, and she's not going to show up. And now you have to pay money to change your ticket to go on a different date. Money you don't have. You still don't have groceries at your house, okay? You still eating peanut butter sandwiches, bologna and cheese sandwiches, whatever you eat. You're not eating that good because you're too busy sending this chick money and she's not doing anything for you as far as showing up, okay? I suggest that he blocks Maria and go to the grocery store, pay his bills, because at this point he hasn't even paid his rent. He hasn't paid his bills. You're going to be homeless, boo. I suggest he blocks her, pay his bills, go to the store, get some food, and live his best life. That's what I think Caesar needs to do. But you know he's not going to. And we're going to keep watching to see what exactly he does. So there you have it, folks. That's a recap. That's the rundown of episode 3 of 90 Day Fiance. Before the 90 days, these people are crazy, child. They're crazy. But we're just going to keep on watching to see what happens. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. What are your thoughts on all these couples? Do you really think that things are going to work out with any of these couples? There are just so many red flags just flying all over the place. Just red flags everywhere. I really do think, though, the one couple I think might really stick together right now is Avery and Omar. I do think that they're good together. I just hope that she changes her mind about moving to Syria. But they do really seem to genuinely love each other. and have a genuine relationship. Everybody else is like, I'm not too sure about this one. So tell me what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on social media, especially Twitter, where you can see where I live tweet about the show. Sometimes it's not even live tweeting. If I have to catch up later, I still tweet while I'm watching, even if it's like the next day. But it's really hilarious just reading all of the live tweets, or even if you're not doing it live, it's really, really comical. And I like seeing everybody's perspectives because we all don't see things the same way when we're watching these things. So it's really interesting to see different perspectives and ideas and opinions about everything that's going on the show. So definitely join us on Twitter, hashtag 90DayFiance. You will not regret it. Other than that, subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, sassycritic.com, follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.